Supergirl let it fly yesterday that she has the secret why you can't fly. How is that story thread going to play out through this season?
I don't know. What'd she say? Because he's got to figure out
why he can't fly.
I know, but what is? I don't know what it is. I don't think Clark knows what it is. I think that's sort of the dilemma is going to be. I think that sometimes in our lives, I'm going to, I know, but I think the idea is that sometimes we are, as people, as characters, we're our own worst enemy. We get in our own way. We don't always know why, and sometimes it takes someone else to kind of slap us around and wake us up a little bit as to, how to move forward. And I think that's what she's there for. I'm not privy to the information that she will share with Clark, but I know it's coming up, I think, next episode, so we'll find out next week.
Okay, and last question. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Lex Luthor coming back for the climactic finale?
I think it's imperative to the series that he comes back. I think it would be the best thing that could happen.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to. So, Lois knows Clark's secret.
Yes.
How is that going to change and evolve their relationship, and how is it going to play into the mythology that we already know from years and years of Superman lore?
Well, you know what? I don't have all the answers because the writers don't tell me everything that's going on, but I do know that it makes their relationship a lot deeper. It shifts the power because, of course, Lois knows, and she has that confirmation that I've always believed that Lois somehow knew that they were one and the same. Maybe she wasn't willing to investigate it, but it wasn't two different people. She just was magnetized to these two alter egos, and now she knows that they're the same person, and she's dating this. What they keep saying to me, she's dating a rock star. Like, this is pretty amazing. But then she has to accept her destiny in being the person and that helps him fulfill that destiny of his, which is to be the superhero.
And can you tell me how the next 22 episodes are going to lead into the climax of this entire series and what we may see this series end on?
You know what? I would love to tell you what is exactly going to happen over the 22. I have no idea, but I know that it will take a lot to convince Clark Kent to really step into the Superman, and they're going to throw everything they can at season 10. I know that they're bringing in some pretty dark nemesis to run up against him and push him further into that, and then hopefully everyone will have, and I have absolute confidence in our creative staff. Everybody will have the excitement that they need at the end of the series.
Skyline flight?
Nope, sorry. 2 more. That was it. Just 2.
I don't know.
Finally, we loved you as Supergirl on Smallville, and we know you're coming back for one episode or a couple episodes this season?
I believe just one. I've only been asked to do one because we go right back into V after, so I don't know timing-wise, but I'm very excited to return. People have been waiting for it, and I actually start on Friday. I just read the script. And it's great, and there's going to be some questions that the Smallville fans have been asking that are going to be dealt with, like why Clark can't fly. And Kara, I'm not going to give anything away. I'm going to get in trouble. But it's going to be a great episode. I'm really excited.
Will be a way to sort of wrap up Kara and wrap up your character arc on the show?
Yeah, she needed to be wrapped up. She's been flying around wherever for like over a year, so we need to wrap it up. And say goodbye to her, but it's not really a goodbye. You'll see at the end of the episode.
Now that you're returning from the dead, how is that going to change your outlook on life, and how is that going to play through this last season of the show?
Really great question. I think that Tess finally realizes that she is not made of steel, and I think she needs to look to other people to help her out in her quest. I think she's still kind of figuring out what she wants to do, but she's definitely gonna pull from Oliver and Clark a little bit more. To figure out how to get what she wants out of life.
And now that Chloe and Green Arrow are sort of intermingled, how is her feelings about certain people going to play into that quest, and what exactly is going to happen with that relationship throughout this season?
I think that's a really good question as well. I think Tess realizes that she has never had a very deep, loving relationship. She's always used her sexuality in her relationships as a way to manipulate and get things. And I think she sees the Chloe-Oliver relationship, and as much as every girl is going to be jealous of her boyfriend with a new girl, or her ex-boyfriend with a new girl, I think more she's kind of sad that she's never had a connection like that. So I think she's going to be searching this season for some meaningful connections, whether or not they're romantic, but things that actually hit a little bit deeper.
When we hit that final episode, do you hope Tess is good or evil?
I don't know yet.
Well, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you know how that's going to sort of play out in these first few episodes that you guys have already shot?
These first few episodes, she's a little bit softer, but I wouldn't put it past Smallville to totally yank the rug out from under me. I think it would be, Cassidy, I think it would be fun to be super evil at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Now, from what I understand, I believe I just heard that Brainiac 5 is coming back for this season. How is that story thread going to play out through the rest of the season, leading us to the climax? And is he going to have anything to do with Lex Luthor?
Brainiac 5 is coming in for the 200th episode, and it's kind of like a nod to a favorite past villain and a nod to Brainiac 5, which is a different version. I'm sure comic fans know that it's not going to be quite the guy that we're used to seeing, but he, in that episode, definitely helps inspire Clark to become Superman down the road. And by episode 22, as we all know, the show will end with him being Superman, and Marsters actually plays quite a turning point in that journey.
Now, what other iconic characters are we going to see throughout the season? I know we saw a lot in season 9. Who else is going to be popping up?
Well, we're going to have Carter Hall will be back, as well as Supergirl. That's a pretty huge one, and we're very excited. And the way she comes back, you're just going to see quite a few fun images and nods to Superman throughout that episode. And she might give Clark a few ideas on how to pull this whole thing off by the end of the season.
And there's a rumor that there might be a Justice League or Green Arrow spinoff. Can you talk about that at this point?
I would love for there to be a Justice League or Green Arrow spinoff. I don't know anything about it, but sign me up. I'll be a fan. I would love to see that.
And what's the thing you're most excited to see as the whole series wraps up in season 10?
That's difficult to think about what I'm really, really looking forward to, because there's so many moments that I'm looking forward to. I think that we really want to delve into some of the most heartwarming parts of the show and revisit some of those moments in a new way, which is a little vague, but if you stay tuned, you'll understand what I'm talking about. We got back to the farm. It was really great to be back there. We hadn't been there in a while, really, to shoot. And I think the whole season actually there's something nice because it's kind of familiar in the sense that it's like seeing old family, but it's like got all these new great, push-offs for Superman. So I can't actually narrow it down to one thing.
Okay, last question. Is there a definitive answer to all the romantic triangles and intricacies going on in this series leading up to the climax?
Yeah, the romance is definitely going to be at a high point this season. I think that Clark and Lois, obviously their relationship is changing because she now knows the secret, and fans will be happy that she doesn't get mind wiped in the first episode. So that actually will play out for a while, and it will really make their relationship a lot more complicated and bring out some new qualities in it.
Okay, and just real quick, are we going to see the iconic Skyline flight with Lois and Clark this season before everything wraps up?
Oh, that seeing the Clark and Lois flying through the sky, that would be kind of nice. Now I'll put that in the back of my pocket. I'll throw that into the wish list for the season.
Last scene of the show. The series.
It'd be great.
Okay, thank you so much. No drunk Ken, right?
What?
No, I said no drunk Ken. In a no to Superman 3, right?
No.
Okay, good. Thank you.